and space technology.
Welcome everyone to our special flight test workshop here on Saturday, May 28th, 2022. This will be with Mr. Kesh of the Kesh Foundation, and he'll be making announcements about the flight tests. Hello, Mr. Kesh. Are you ready to begin today?
Yes, good morning, good day to you, as usual. Wherever and whenever you listen to this series of knowledge, of the Kesh Foundation, the Spaceship Institute, we welcome you to one of the most important teachings of past decades. Today is not teaching. Today is to bring you the announcement, the confirmation, the beginning of a new space flight life for man on this planet. As we saw in the intro, man for centuries, thousands of years, have tried to fly, have tried to build an object to fly in. He never understood that the flight does not need that object to be in, because he himself is a flying container where he contains the plasma of the soul of himself. But he still built aircrafts, rocket propulsion, the donkeys used to move him, and the car to take him from one to another in a box. Man now has reached the point of the confidence that he can fly without an object. Does not need to be within it, because within the man is the system of the flight, is the soul of the man. Today, we open the door, not by talk, by introduction and introducing a new flight system where the man has the choice to use his physicality, to use the plasma of his soul, or to use an aircraft, a shape of the embodiment to carry him. The choice is man, depending on his confidence, depending on his trust to himself. Not many space organizations have managed to launch their programs on the day they promised. There's always delay. Today, we gave a promise of you, 6th of June, 2022, to start the flight test, to achieve the flight in 2022 by all the citizens of this planet as a human race or beyond. It's taken us to develop this technology over 40 years. It's taken us months and years of preparation to develop the prototypes, the first structure that it can do both. You are the captain. You decide how you want to fly. The technology is complete in its first stage, and on the 6th of June, we invite you as knowledge seekers, as a citizen of this planet, to become the captain of your own ship in the first launch of the technology. In the past, governments like the United States and Russia became the first to launch a rocket or space technology. Today, KF, as one nation, one planet, we can fly you to the universe where you do it yourself. We provide a facility, and once you learn, you can do it yourself or still use the facilities we provide. We invited all of you who are here from every corner of this planet to be here. Before we went to your nations, before we went to the governments, before we invited the ambassadors, now we have invited the ambassadors, which is the man himself, as you, to be here today. You are the ambassadors of the race of the man and not the nations of the man. And we bring this knowledge to you as one nation, as a human race. It's for you to decide how, from now on, as one nation, develop this technology further. Today, we introduce a revolutionary technology, which we have never done released in public, where we use the fields of the plasma and not by rotation or other dynamic systems that you have seen. We have brought the knowledge of the plasma and the matter state in the dynamism of the fields of the universe to introduce a new technology, totally revolutionary, never seen. And thanks to our team who developed it and kept the secrecy close to the chest, not to go out, not to be released, and progressively in past 2 years developed it stage by stage. Today, we announce that the new technology is released. It's released for you that you will see that you don't need a motor, you don't need the dynamic system, you don't need anything else. We gave you the basis of this knowledge in the macro technology, where you start playing with the fields, interaction of the fields, creation of entities out of the interaction of the fields. In so many ways, we have put the puzzle of the flight the way the Creator has done. The way we came to achieve flight without interaction with an object. When we see the races of the universe coming to Earth in the UFOs or whatever, it means they have not even reached the maturity of the knowledge which the man has achieved today. Now, up to now, we looked into the skies to see the UFOs and marvel their understanding, marvel that they're ahead of us. Today, mankind become that the passengers of the UFOs and universe looks up to and marvel their knowledge, the understanding, the final phase of traveling the depth of the universe. As I said, when we take man to space, we won't take him as a slave, a subordinate that does not understand and like a child entering into university. Now the man has become the professor of the university. They give you a knowledge which has and will bring changes beyond recognition from now. But we have to tell you step by step what it needs to be done, what is being understood, and in that process, we do not need to hover anymore. We do not need to be and sitting and watching that who makes a better propulsion, bigger tank, and then use it for whatever purpose. The tank, the fields, the energy of the universe is within the soul of the man. This man now has to release that energy to understand it while he releases it, to be able to achieve the dream of the man. The new technology which is released today is not just for flight. It's not just for you to jump somewhere. It's been adapted to fly if the wish of the man, the sincerity of the truth is to fly. But is made, developed, that it allows the soul of the man to fly. The entity is not objectives anymore. It's not an object. The entity is a field interaction. The present time of today, even when you see the UFOs, they have to carry some sort of food that they can feed them. They have developed systems to be able to transfer energy into the embodiment of the man. With a new technology, we feed the soul of the man. We feed the essence of the creation of the man, that it decides what to feed. It decides where it needed. It decides where to manifest itself. Today, you go to doctors to see where the cancer is. Today, you go to doctors to see why you got Alzheimer's. With a new technology, you go within yourself to find the cause of the cancer. You find the cause of Alzheimer's. You find the reason you created whatever condition within your physicality, that you become your own doctor. You become your own savior. The new technology allows you to come and to reach this position. You become the knowledgeable of the creation and the creator of the condition and not the sufferer of the condition. You become not to suffer from hunger, because now you come to the point that you can feed your body without killing. You take the energies from the universe and then you feed within than feeding from outside. There is no need for killing. The time of killing is over. When you feel and you feed the soul of the man, it will not kill its cells to feed the others, but it feeds them to work in a perfect direction and dimension. The time of the limitation of the life of the man in the physical dimension, as of today, is over. Which means you can live forever through the soul of the man. It's you who decide to where and to when to manifest yourself. The new enhancement units, which we have developed in its prototypes, and by completion of the cycle of understanding of our team, as you go through it, start to put the puzzle together, that every man reaches the point of understanding of the work of the system. With a new technology, we allow you to do both. You have the option to still fly in the physical dimension, or to fly with the dimension of the fields of the universe. We gave you the magravs and you abused it. We gave you the magravs and you misused it. We gave you the magrav and you never understood it. Today, we use the same magrav technology as a power supply, as a backer of the energy of the universe. We use the batteries of the man to support the matter state of the fields, and we put the two together, one to feed the soul of the man and one to feed the physicality of the man if man needs to fly. We have developed two systems with two different combinations, and these two systems are set and are ready to be tested by the captains of man, which is you, on the 6th of June, within 8-10 days. We are not asking for delay. We are offering you, even you can fly it on Saturday or a Sunday, 2 days earlier. No space organization has ever achieved this, because we fly with the knowledge of the creation and not with the dimension of the physicality of the man. Even the time of assembling and connecting and bringing the system together was set to come to this point, that the soul of our team was aware of the work, aware of the existence, and aware of totality. Now we have come to a point. We have come to the what we call a breakthrough. Today we introduce a new plasma technology, where interaction of the fields creates the physicality, where the interaction of the fields creates motion within the emotion of the man, within the soul of the man. We create the condition that is not anymore if you have 250,000 for a few seconds of the feelings of the space, you pay to Mr. Branson, or you pay another $1 million or $2 to Mr. Moss to take you to the moon. We brought, because of the technicality and achievement in science, the condition of the flight that more or less every man on this planet, or majority of us, can afford it, and hopefully will give a chance to the others. You can become the captain of your own ship. You are invited to come in to test. We made it possible. It's been made possible for us in the Keshe Foundation to cover the development and the costs. We are not asking over top. The expenditure of what is to come and what else we have spent on it. And we open the doors that every one of you as knowledge seekers to come in, to captain your own ship and share the knowledge with us, where you went, what did you see, And we believe you because we came to work through the trust of the systems and not through the what we call the lies of the man. We brought the technology into a position that any of you can become the what we call traveler of the universe. Or you can go within yourself and find out where the cancer cell is. Or you can go within yourself and see where the hunger is. You become the captain of your own body from inside. You become the captain of your own body from outside. Systems are set. If any of you can reach the position of balancing the fields of the universe within your soul, you can fly physically the system. In the test we did in Vienna some 2 years ago, just before in Corona, what we call the Vienna conference, we brought systems into the what we call conference. And one of the knowledge seekers from Austria managed to stop the heartbeat, managed to bring the whole thing to a halt, that the dimension of physicality did not exist. We were all there, witnessed it. We saw the others, how they played with the motion of the what we call the heartbeat of the plasma. Now that technology is complete. Now that technology is at the reach of every man. We can place this technology at every corner. You can go to it if you want to fly with it to another. You can go in it if you've got a cancer to see what you've done to yourself. You can go into it and feed yourself. In the time of disasters, our governments do not need to drop or find us to feed us. We find our soul with the system developed, we feed you. The time has changed. The time has come for us to move on. I'm proud as the head of the Keshe Foundation and the members of the what are called the researchers of the Keshe Foundation around the world to announce that the door is open for you to become captains. We welcome you to it from Monday the 6th. We have opened the process that allows us for you to perfect the system of flight. You cannot at the moment fly into space unless you've been trained for months and years before. Your physicality is tested, mentally, if you're correctly tested. With a new technology, you enter Linz Exhibition Center. You have 3 seats, which each seat is designed with this process for you to be prepared for the space travel. First seat is to match, to balance your physicality. The second seat is to match and balance the soul of physicality. And the third seat is to balance the fields of the soul. And then this takes maybe 15 minutes, depending on when and how you say you're ready to move on to the next chair. And then from the third chair, you move, you're prepared, you're ready to become the child of space. You move into the space simulation flight system. We call it simulation because it's for you to simulate it. It's not for us. It's a full flight system. It shows your capability. The first unit you enter is set in different combination. We allow you maybe 20 minutes, half an hour with the system. We won't kick you out of the system, because if you're halfway having dinner with your father who died 20 years ago, I cannot say, sorry, table is reserved, next one in. We allow you to take the flight of fancy. Then you move to the next system for you to understand the position and the structure of the flight through the soul of the man, or vice versa. Depends which way you enter the room. And then when you finish the process, you go back again on the other side to chair number 3, which allows to balance your fields, to understand what you went through, to, in a way, bring the knowledge you gain to be frozen, to be added to your soul, to the knowledge of your soul. Then you go to the next chair, which is the soul of physicality, which you bring that knowledge to be shared with your physicality. And then you come off the third chair, which brings you back to the dimension of the man. The space flight, the training for a space flight has become instantaneous. Go to the Keshe Foundation store and book your time. How many times you want to fly? And the first 10 applications will fly with us on Monday the 6th. You choose and how much you want to perfect. And you might go in and say, I felt nothing, because it means you are not prepared. Your soul is not prepared to take you there because there's some adjustment needed. Some more understanding is needed. It's not a fault, is to understand more, to be there to be more. We will see people will come with all intentions and all what we call dimensions, with all kind of expectation to go into the system. I want to fly. I want to travel the span of universe. I want to go to the moon. I want to see no more cancer. I want to see no more hunger. I want to see no more suffering of my physicality. And you have to tell us when you come out. And months later, what did you achieve? Some of you will taste a dimension that you will want to be there again and again to complete the process of the knowledge of the universe and to understanding it in the dimension of physicality. We have given you an option. You cannot fly more than 10 times. We will not allow people to take more than 10 or maximum 20 times to go through the process of adjusting the soul, the understanding, and the physicality to be able to fly with the dimension of the soul and not the physicality. Keshe Foundation Space Center in Linz is open for flight from today. You can book your ticket and say how many times you want to be there and what do you want to do it. And we give opportunity to all men equal from all races, from all corners of the world. As we learn, as our team learns more, as you come out of the system, where, what, and how, we adjust the systems for next 3 months to get to the optimum, that we understand the collection of the race of the man. You're Chinese, you're Indian, you're English, you're Arab, you're from South America. Each come with a different understanding and intentions. That's why we set up the Universal Council. When you go to these machines, then we have to adjust that all of you, irrespective of your color, race, or religion, or belief, go through the same door after completion, that you become as one soul. And this process has started. We are proud to announce that all of you can become the captain. Join us and enter a new space technology without fuel, but by the interaction of the fields. I've been telling you for years, don't look at the maglev and the windings, look at the fields which creates and the conditions which creates. Now these maglevs will feed the space flight simulation units because we use their fields and not the matter state. I told you, I gave you one of the most powerful generators in the universe, but again, you looked at the crumbs. When you enter the test flight room, it's you who decides. We have not put the test flight rooms on the roof that you can take off. We have embedded you in the most concrete blocks that you see how you can fly out of the shackles of the matter state. This is the beauty of the new flight space. This is the new way we have done. This is why we called today's workshop. This is your workshop. This is where you enter the zone of the time and the space. Travel from all over the planet to join us on this adventure. It's you who build the parts of the knowledge which our team will put together that the mankind collectively will fly. We are not planning to be the systems out there. It's for you to plan to be, to become, and become the first people on the 6th of June. Maybe you land on the moon. Maybe you bring us the dust of the moon in your hand and you say, I've been there. You go to Mars, you go to another galaxies in the time you're in the system, and you bring back with your physicality the dimension of the existence where you've been. Bring us friends from different parts of the universe when you come back. Explain to us what you have seen. We believe because you are the ambassador of humanity in that time, space, and position. Man went to the moon and took pieces of it, brought it back, and when I was a young boy, was given little pieces of it to every nation to prove that the American had been on the moon. I remember going to what we call the Azadi Square in Tehran, the white building, which is the center of the manifestation of the technological development and beauty of Iran. I went there to see the stone at a young age because I wanted to see the man has been to the moon and brought an evidence. But again, at the age of 40, when I went back to Iran, or 50, when I went back to Iran, by the invitation of Mr. Ahmadinejad, I went back to the same building and I asked the guy, the manager, where is the stone from the moon? He said, that was all lies. It's never been here. Man has never been to the moon. I walked out of the building and I said, where does man has gone to? Who lied and who is lying to himself? I saw the stone with my own eyes at a young age and I said, I'll take man to the moon. That it doesn't need to bring just for somebody else to see, but it brings for his own soul to receive the confirmation of his own achievement. No man can lie to himself. When you go to the moon, bring us the stones back. Bring us the cycle of life back for us to understand, to educate ourselves how to live in this environment without the monkey suit of the space travel. When you have a dinner with mom, bring part of the food for your children that the grandma brought you, said you the food of the soul. And if needs be, you change it to the dimension of its physicality. This is not a dream anymore. This is the reality of the facts which sits in front of you, and from today is open. You have never seen the space reactors when you enter into the space flight room test zone. We do not allow you to bring any electronics into the building. You're not allowed to bring any mobile phone, any cameras, or anything. We cancel your presentation or your flight if any rules is broken. We don't need evidence to believe. We trust your word to believe that you've been and you've done. And we will share your knowledge when you come out. We record the flight systems, we record your emotion, we record everything that the others to go in, they know what they might have to do or might have not to do, or what they can add to have a better, faster flight. In a way, when you walk into Linz next Monday as the first 10 people, you become what are called plasmonauts of the human race. You become the motions. You become our ambassadors to where you fly. It's your responsibility to behave good, to be good and do good when you arrive. We travel the space of the universe with the ethos of Zoroaster. We become the motions with the love of Mitra. We share the knowledge of the universe not only with the human race. In your travel, you might go in two places, from one to another. You share the same. You become the ambassadors of peace. You become the ambassadors of the knowledge, and you become the ambassadors of the Creator. Use the knowledge wisely. Share the knowledge wisely, and don't let no nation and no race and no one in the universe or on earth to use this knowledge to harm the another. You wish peace. During the system, while you are in it, move within the soul of the world leaders and elevate them that they change instantly. Move to the soul of the lion that it shall not kill just because it has the power. Move within the structure of the stone, the flower, that it shows its beauty. Move in the direction that you could never imagine. As I said, I am who I am, and I'll be who I am, and I'll not change for no man. As I came to bring the knowledge of the universe, to make man the jewel in the crown of the creation, as Mitra loved the earth. When you love someone, when you make the crown, you give it the most beautiful stones on the top, the biggest jewel. And the jewel of this crown is the human race. And we have brought to that point because the love of Mitra for man is beyond imagination. Sharing this knowledge has taken years, a lot of hardship for me and those around me. I stood a lot of persecution and suffering. But today, standing here, it was worth it. He had to go through that to bring us to this point, to end with a kingship, as the king now is the soul of the man, to end the wars, as the man has to stop the war within himself that does not create another position. There are a number of knowledge seekers which will never be allowed to enter the premises of the Keshe Foundation. Does not matter, as their soul is so black that it can change the dimension of all our work. There are a number of knowledge seekers which will not be allowed even near the center. They know why and they know the reason, as we test them and they fail the test over years, one after another. There are knowledge seekers who will be greeted with open arms. There are knowledge seekers as the world leaders who will come in and they will walk away till they find a way what they've done and how they have to do, and they will walk back into the position. There are many of you who will walk in as a man, and you work hard as the citizens of the universe. We have blessed souls who have been amongst us, and in a way, in the background, have been through their soul, seeing the transition. The blessed souls, people like Rick. Those who sat with us, amongst us, and went through the whole lot. These are part of the structure of the souls we brought with us to see this development through. We sit on a seat of justice. We sit on the seat of equality. And when you become the ambassadors of this planet, from next week, when you enter the zone and you enter the systems, your responsibility to human race, to yourself, and the citizens of this universe is the ethos of Zarathustra. Think good to add, talk good to elevate, and be good. in a way that everything turns up good. The cycle of the progress of the man is complete. Now is what we call polishing it, adding to it. In the systems, when you enter, when you come out, you might speak a different language that nobody has ever heard, because this is the language when you went, that's where they spoke, and you learned it instantaneously. You might go in the system, speak French, and you come out speaking Farsi because you wanted to be where Mitra came. That was your wish, and you learn it instantaneously. This is part of the education which we have brought in. This is part of the work we have brought in. I thank the work of the Keshe Foundation in Austria, the beautiful sort of class, the way relentlessly saw the whole progress and development of the technology step by step. These are blessed souls which we brought with us to complete the cycle. The physicality does not count as it's a cover for the beauty of the soul within. We bring the systems, new technologies in the coming time that will change the pattern, the structure of life on this planet as you bring it, as you add to it, as you, as the citizens of this planet, decide what is best for the ant, for the tree, for the fish, for the man. The planet Earth will become a beautiful haven for the citizens of the universe, not to enjoy the beauty of its physicality, but the sincerity and the purity of the souls which live within it. Now you understand why Mitra fell in love with Earth. And now you understand why the knowledge of the Creator released through mankind, as she fell in love not only with the beauty of this planet, but with the way the man loved. And she always wished that the Creator would love her the same. Now the children of Mitra are amongst us, and they'll bring a new cycle for man. It took one man, as they said, from Central Africa to become 7 billion of today. The life of the cycle of the children of Mitra has started, and a new race of man will be created that will bring the wishes and the love of Mitra, the beauty of the creation and the creator from every corner of the universe. We call you in today to tell you that not only the system is available, but you are the captains. Join us, fly for us, become our ambassadors, sit with us and change the man's world leaders. I want to know how many of you going into the systems from Monday will move, as is true wish of you, into the dimension of the soul strength of the Putin and Mr. Biden and President Xi of China and other world leaders, to bring them on the table of peace at the level of the soul and not at the level of physicality, that at the moment they can't even fly to see each other. They make threats on the voices of physicality of the man, but you make them to love each other on the level of the soul of the Creator. Now, the position of the technology is very clear. The flight systems are not going to be built, they are built. Very simple way. The enhancement units you see on this picture is not what you're walking into. You're walking into the field structure which no tangibility of the solid material can confine it. And in the future, even these structures will become fields on their own without physical structure. In a way, we embed you among the stars, that the collective soul of the systems with the soul of the man will lead to the maturity and understanding of the creation of the universe. The systems becomes the womb of the mother, and the soul of the man, at this maturity of age and physicality, becomes that soul of the child. We allow you to grow within the womb of the mother to attain physicality, maturity of physicality, to start the life on this planet. With this new enhancement centers and space systems, we take you back to the womb of the universe and we teach you how to mature that soul. In one word, I welcome you as a human race into the dimension of the world of the Creator and not the universe. As you, once you reach the point of maturity, become part of the Creator that leads to the creation of the universe and universe. I'm not a talker, I'm a doer. And now we've done our job. We brought you step by step the technology, the understanding of interaction of the fields, the magraphs, the dynamic system, the ganses, the showing of the flight and the control of the environment through the Iranian defense technology of what we saw capturing. We have brought more and more. We have brought more that you will learn more in the coming time. Please understand that by entering into the systems from Monday on, you are the captain and you are the ambassadors of the human race in space. If you're worried to let me fix my physicality first and go to see if you can feed yourself, find a way that you don't need to eat food anymore, that's your prerogative. If you suffer from Alzheimer's and you go into your brain to find out where is the disconnection, that's your prerogative. You have your 30 minutes of fame, as they say, in the machine. Maybe you need 30 seconds. And then if you suffer from the conditions that has paralyzed you, the condition that's put you on the life threat, that is your process, is your understanding. The physicality does not want to have anything with a soul, has given you the cancer, because this way it can justify this condition. We are not there to decide. As I said, in these flight systems, there are no toilets, there are no feeding stations, there are no confession boxes, and there are no where to go except to the soul of the man. You might walk in and say, nothing happened, because this happens to those who are ignorant to confirmation of their existence. Some of you might walk with a lot of excitement. Some of you might go through the condition that, what have I left myself open to when I did not listen to mother when she was alive, and now having a lunch with her, now I understood. In the coming weeks, we will add to the number of these units, primarily around the world in Keshe Foundation centers. And then we'll build on it to make it gradually to the dimension every nation have a system. I came here thousands of years ago to develop this system, to mature the man, but we understood man has to mature step by step. From hunter and gatherer, to understand citizens and build cities, then to create the new communication systems, then understand we can fly. Then we taught you about the fields, and today we give you the fields of the space of the universe. Join us as fast as you can, learn from it, and then take the knowledge to see if through the learning of your souls, you can teach your nations, you can teach others in the universe. Many of you will find out when you're in the system, you're not the citizens of this planet in true essence. I promise my Creator that I'll bring freedom for those who became exiles from other points of the universe on this planet. And with this system, we give you a chance to return home, to find home and find out what happened to home. And if there is a home, and then instead of being locked in the physicality of the man on this planet, which the suffering of it, you decide to move to another position in the universe where there is no suffering. There is no need for all the hullabaloo which the man has made. Many of you will come to understand you have been guests amongst us within the structure of the human race structure. We give you that freedom. And thank you for being a guest with us. We hope to see you soon. We hope to be in that dimension that we can meet again at the levels of the souls of the Creator and not in the physicality of dimension of the man. As I said many times to you, a large percentage of the people amongst you in soul are not on this planet. And now with this technology, we give them that freedom to go back or to choose a new place, not to suffer in the dimension of physicality of the man. This system is not developed just for the man. This system is not just developed for you to go in and see if I can get rid of one thing or add something else. The systems are built to mature the soul of the man, the fields which created the man and the dimension of physicality. I'll be there on the 6th of June to welcome you, the first 10. Please do not turn up if you have not received an invitation, with the hope that you will get in. Please work with the Keshe Foundation team and follow the time schedule you're given to be there. If you have chosen a multiple, what we call testing, make sure you sort out all your accommodations and you are not a burden to us and yourselves. We open the doors of Test Center for all of you. We add more and more. Our production team was working literally round the clock, day and night. And the head of the production and the head of the Keshe Foundation in manufacturing, Klaus, sometimes doesn't even sleep, making sure every aspect is covered. We have put in a manufacturing production line, which we see we should be able to reach, to be able to add 2 to 4 maybe units a month, and then on a mass production with collaboration with corporations which we trust, governments which we trust, with the government of China, with collaboration with Business of China, with establishment of a new institute in China, with work with our team to build institutes in Arizona with John and with Yusuf in Tehran. We work relentlessly to build the first of these systems to be transported to Nigeria, to Alex, to bring the freedom to Africa, and the same with Raphael in South America. You can join us, be part of it, and add to it. We still are entangled in the dimension of physicality, and we have to be able to create that condition. At the moment, we allocated 10,000 hours of flight test, which means when we reach the 10,000 flight tests with you as knowledge seekers, then we look at what we need to adjust in the follow-up system. And hopefully by September, October, we reach the point that the systems can be specified in a specific way for flight, destination point, flight, what we call enhancement soul point, systems for what we call medical and health applications, and systems for feeding and what are called cultivation. Man would not need to cultivate, but will enjoy it. We don't look at and look after a rose bush just because we're going to eat it. We look after it to create us the beauty of the flower it creates. Now human race reaches that point. Everything is done to enjoy the beauty and not to consume the beauty. This process has taken thousands of years for me to complete. Now it's completed. Now it's for you as a human race and those who are your guests to complete the knowledge of the universe. In a way, I have done my job, but I still keep an eye. that the man does not make mistake. Anyone uses this technology, which is released from now on, for harming, for wars, and for any other application, will bring them to the soul of those knowledge seekers that will never be elevated. And I've spoken with this very clearly. No man is allowed, no man will be allowed, no creation will be allowed to use this knowledge which we have released to harm another soul. No being is allowed to bring the suffering to another through this knowledge. I agreed with Iran using the technology to capture the drone. I disagree with Iran to use this knowledge in rockets to destroy bases where the human race lives in it. I advise the Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran, the Iranian leadership, to withdraw from such an action. Otherwise, I have to take steps against their wishes and deprive this race of the knowledge. We gave you a gift. Use it wisely. Share it with the Americans as you do with the Russians. Share it with the Chinese as you do with the Nigerians and the Brazilians. We gave Iran the first gift to become the leaders in peace, not to create another cycle. We do what we like and nobody can touch us. I do not agree. And my advice to the Iranian Sepah, the Iranian leadership is withdraw from this phase of work, as you bring shame to the race which brought the knowledge. I go back to all of you. Try, when you're in the system, to reach to the soul of Christ, if you're a Christian. Try to reach the soul of Muhammad, bless his name, if you're a Muslim. Try to reach the true soul of Moses, not the Moses as a greeder and a killer. And then, in satisfying that you have seen what you loved through him, see the love of the Creator and bring peace to your soul and the humanity. I told you, I'll bring you to the condition to see the Christ with your own eyes. It wasn't with your physical eyes, it was in the eye of the soul of the man. And now in these systems, you have the opportunity to do that. When you come back, when the Pope says something, you say, I've been with the Christ, there is no such a thing. And I'll take you to him. Because you have from now on that opportunity. If your wish is to see the beauty of the creation, do that. The reason we offered you 10 or 20 sessions is for you to satisfy different dimensions of ambiguities and anxieties and lack of knowledge, or extension of the knowledge which you wish to have. It's not just going in there and coming out, oh, I've been to such a place. It's for you to nourish your knowledge, it's for you to understand the work of your soul, and it's for you to extend it. I thank you for all of you as knowledge seekers being with me for years. I thank you as knowledge seekers in so many ways to suffer with me through the human suffering. And I thank you as knowledge seekers to be as part of the souls which we brought in different shapes and forms to bring the whole of the, what we call human race and the lives on this planet and the rest of the universe to the beauty of today. Join me on Monday the 6th in Keshe Foundation in Linz. And I'll take your first 10 through to understand, to know what you're doing, to teach you the ways. And if you go through the system, maybe twice in one day, and you see the elevation of the soul, the understanding of totality, and the change we can bring, then join the Keshe Foundation in the structure of change. Join us to bring peace to mankind. Join us to bring the knowledge and the beauty of the new technology to what we have. In so many ways, I have seen so much hardship and I have seen so much pain, and it's time to change. It's time to show the beauty of Mitra. It's time to show the beauty of man. And you are the ambassadors. You've been trained long enough on this planet to know what suffering is. You've been trained long enough to understand what the beauty of love is. And you learn this when you become ambassadors to make sure the other citizens of the world and the universe will never experience any pain. It's your responsibility to curb, to stop and bring change even into new races that every daily time created amongst the stars and galaxies and universes. It's your responsibility to become the nomads of the universe, to make sure that life from now on, it always starts with the beauty of the creation and no suffering. Otherwise, we have wasted our time teaching you all. Thank you for being with me, and I hope to see you soon in the first space flight center in the depth of the earth, and not on the roof of the man the way he thought he can fly. As I said, when you go into bed, many floors under the ground as a miner, your soul still travels beyond the rocks above you and goes to see the children at home while the father is in the depth of the mines asleep. We have brought you that knowledge. Not only the blanket under your head does not stop you dreaming, nor the dimension of the physicality of the building you are in it, and not even the restriction of the atmosphere of this planet. And now with the new knowledge, you decide where that soul goes in the universe. As I said, bring us back the dust of the where you go, a feeling of the love of where you go, that we add to the knowledge that how we have to live and how those who try to go in the dimension of physicality will fly. Thank you for being here, and I welcome you to a new cycle of the life on Earth with the fields of the universe, and not propulsion labs and the rocket technology which you so hard try to achieve flight and did not manage to go very far. Now you understand. You had to see what damage you can do to yourself and what achievements you can reach with it. Thank you very much, Rick, for today. And thank you very much for us in Austria. And those who kept the flag of the Keshe Foundation flying, that it becomes a messenger of peace and unification of man and the universe. And thank you all to be there and to bring us to this point. Thank you, Rick. And we'll go through a small break with enhancement unit flight system. We'll come back to answer you any questions. And then we meet you on the promised day, the 6th of June. One day I will explain to you why I chose the 6th of June. 6th of June is the day when I left Iran. And it's strange enough, 6th of June, 2008 is the day I returned back to Iran. 6th of June is celebration of the manifestation of Mitra within the physicality of acceptance of the life of the man. It's the birthday of the acceptance within the dimension of physicality of Mitra within the embodiment of the human race. And then you understand why we chose 6th of June. It's the time when the completion, transportation and teleportation of the science will complete itself. How did I know that 6th of June will be? Some months ago. It's what I promised. If I do, I wanted to be the change. I came to bring the change to my life, and I returned back to Iran to bring the change in life of Iran. And I achieved all three. Please go through a break. We come back and we answer.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kesh. So we'll be back after a short break and have an opportunity for questions and answers.